Welcome back, episode 5 of Halftime Speech. Last episode was our top 20 NBA player ranking. Now it's our top 5 NFL player rankings for every position. We're just going to go one at a time, and first we're going to start with QB, so let's just get it started. At number 4, we both had Josh Allen.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah, Bills are one of the best teams in the league, serious Super Bowl contender. Josh Allen's, the best player on that team. So not much to say about Josh Allen. Just know he's really good at football. Next, I got Tom Brady and you got Mahomes. I don't got any problems with this at all.
Oh, yeah. I assume Tom Brady would be higher because honestly, he deserved the MVP over
I
Rodgers.
feel like he did. I actually genuinely
Yeah,
feel like he
he
did.
was robbed.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady definitely deserved over Rodgers. Um, and Patrick Mahomes he hasn't fallen off at all. He hasn't, he's just Patrick Mahomes. I think he's at his peak right now, and this is going to be his peak for a few more years. I think he's got like I don't really know what it compared to or how long he's going to play, but I think he's going to be at his peak for a long time.
Yeah, I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, quarterbacks usually last a lot longer. I mean, look at Tom Brady; he's like 45 now. All right, next we both have Aaron Rodgers at 2, back-to-back MVP. Should have been Tom Brady this year, but Aaron Rodgers also had a really good season.
Right.
Even if somebody deserves the MVP over you, you still had an amazing enough season to get MVP votes in the first place. So I don't think we should take that away from him.
Definitely not.
And back-to-back too. I just wish Aaron Rodgers had some more playoff success, and he might. I think at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, if he had like half as much playoff success as Tom Brady did in his career, he'd probably be the greatest or second greatest quarterback of all time. But he hasn't been able to get it done in the playoffs, so that's why he's really not number one. And number one, I have Mahomes, and you have Tom Brady. We already talked about. I just realized we have the same 4 guys, just
Yeah,
in a different order.
well, they're basically all self-explanatory.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. I don't think he's the best right now. He could be. Should have won MVP. Yeah, I'm fine with. I think those top 3 quarterbacks could be rearranged in any order. To be honest.
Right. Well, Mahomes, I don't see him going number one.
I could. That's why I put him there.
Sorry.
I could also be convinced for Rodgers and Brady, but let's go to running back. So at the 4 spot, I have Dalvin Cook, and you have Austin Eckler. I want to know why you put Austin Eckler at 4.
All honesty, Dalvin Cook didn't even cross my mind. If I could change it, I would right now.
Yeah, I think Dalvin Cook's gonna have a really good season. I think Minnesota's gonna have a really good season. They've just got a really solid roster, and not many holes in that roster. I think Minnesota's gonna be a playoff team, and Dalvin Cook's gonna be a massive, massive part of that. So I think, this isn't a predictions video, but this is, he's also been good for a long time. So I think Dalvin Cook at 4 is valid. And Austin Eckler, I like him, but I don't think he's top. I don't even think he's like top 6. He could be. He could be top 6. He's borderline top 6. I think there's a few more people. I was kind of confused on Alvin Kamara. I didn't know whether to put him in or not. I don't know.
I was gonna put him in.
I
was going
I
to,
don't
but I
know
didn't
if
want to.
I don't know if he's playing at all this season. I don't know what's up with his old court thing. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if he's gonna play. So it just kind of confused me. So I just decided to stay away from it. But Alvin Kamara could legitimately make a case for top 4 if there wasn't all that going on right now. Number 3, we both have Nick Chubb.
Yep.
I love Nick Chubb.
He fits well in the Browns.
Yes, he does for sure. The Browns' offense is looking really good. They need another. They need to bring Odell Beckham Jr. back and just have a really good offense.
I was saying this. I think I could see that happening because now that Baker's not going to be the starter,
it's not.
I don't see much issues having.
It's not going to happen. I bet you money that he's not ever going to the Browns.
I don't see it happening. I'm saying as a potential, if he never left and this was the original setup that they had planned, it could have worked out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if they didn't cut him, their offense would be so good, and their defense is pretty good too. The AFC is so stacked. You're gonna see a really, really good team not make the playoffs. You're gonna see a few really, really good teams not make the playoffs. Like the Broncos might not make the playoffs. The Raiders might not make the playoffs.
I was thinking Raiders not making playoffs.
I mean, and they have a really good roster too. So it's kind of crazy to think that a team like the Raiders or Broncos
or those teams would be good at the beginning of regular season and start to slowly decline with more injuries and having to face more top tier teams at the end of the season.
Yeah, this playoff race is going to be a very crazy playoff race. It's going to be crazy because the AFC is I don't know if we've ever seen a conference this stacked ever. So, Browns are going to have a tough time. So let's go to number 2 now. We both have Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
He had a breakout season. If his team had more success, I think he legitimately could have been in the MVP talks.
For sure. It sucks. That's such a good player being on such a mid-tier team.
They did get Matt Ryan, but then also the AFC got a lot more stacked. So I
don't see that being much of an upgrade right now, sadly.
I think I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs just for how stacked the AFC is. I think it's pretty much just them versus the Titans. Whoever does better between the Colts and the Titans are making the playoffs, and whichever one isn't making the playoffs because they're in the same division. So I think the Titans are slightly better than them. But we'll see. We'll see if Tannehill regresses more. We'll see if Treylon Burks is any good. See if Robert Woods can come back from his injury. So it's really a toss-up between the Titans and the Colts to win that division. All right, well, let's go to number 1. Speaking of the Titans, we've both got Derrick Henry. Our top 3 was the exact same. And you said you would change it.
I'm liking our list so far. I'm not going to lie.
You said you would change number 4 to Dalvin Cook, so we pretty much had the same exact running back ranking.
It's almost exact.
Derrick Henry, I think everybody thinks he's the best.
He's a beast.
Some people make a case for Jonathan Taylor. I don't see it yet. Derrick Henry is just amazing. He's so good.
He carries that team on his back.
Oh, for sure. And if he could probably literally carry somebody on his back during the game and still put up 1,000 yards a season.
His whole line.
For sure. All right, let's go to wide receiver. Number 4, I have Stephon Diggs and you have DK Metcalf. Why do you have DK this high?
I gotta really think about this one. Because Stephon's higher on mine, all opinion. But DK, I don't know. I like DK. He's a great receiver. Not this season, in all opinion.
Yes, he did. He had a great season.
I don't know.
He was only a few yards off 1,000 yards, but he also had like 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying compared to other receivers. But I do like this one. I do have DK up there. Okay, wait. Where do you have DK?
Top 10 for sure. He's better than A.J. Brown, in my opinion.
Yes.
He's the best or second best receiver from that draft class, competing with Deebo Samuel. I'm a
I was
I'm
gonna put Debo on
I'm
here.
literally a
I was going
Seahawks
to.
fan. I could turn to my left and see a DK Metcalf jersey on my wall. So, I think I mean, and I'm just kind of baffled that you have him this high. And
I do
I
just like
literally have
DK
his
in all
jersey on my
opinion.
wall. I love DK. I mean, I have his jersey right next to me, but um, yeah, I don't think he's better than the top four guys. And Stephon Diggs almost didn't make my top four.
Really?
I originally had Tyreek Hill, but then at last second I switched Stephon and Tyreek. So
We're
Tyreek,
gonna have a weird wide receivers list here.
if we would do a top five, I would have Tyreek at five. Um, but yeah, I originally didn't
I have
have him.
Tyreek pretty high on mine.
All right, let's go to three. I had D Hop and you had Jamar Chase. You had a rookie at number three. Yeah, he did. He did have a really good season though. I remember everybody was flaming the Bengals for not taking
I
offensive
know
line.
it worked. It worked out, but then it
It
also
did work
sucks for
out.
them in the Super Bowl.
It's okay.
Man,
I
I
think
honestly probably should have had D
they're
Hop on here.
happy.
Or I'm an idiot. Oh, when I made my list, I didn't even put D Hop or Devontae. Oh man,
You didn't put Devontae on your list.
I probably should have. I would replace DK right now. I'd
Oh
bump Jamar
gosh.
down to fourth. I'd put Devontae at two.
Whoa. Jamar. I think the Bengals are very happy. I mean, they just they just had a second year quarterback and a rookie wide receiver carry that whole team to the Super Bowl with a horrible offensive line. Now they upgraded their offensive line and had a pretty solid draft. I think this team's gonna win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
They got the talent. They got the talent.
Minimum. Minimum. It could be sooner. Could be as soon as next year. And that's like it's not crazy to say that either. That's not my prediction. My prediction, we'll get to that in the predictions video. But
I think 2 and 1. I think Tyreek and Stephon for me.
all right, for two, you have Amari Cooper. And
I don't think I had Cooper.
I have Cooper Cup.
I didn't. No. I had Cooper Cup at this. That's why I sent you Cooper.
Cooper.
I had Cooper Cup, not Amari Cooper.
Okay, at number two, we both have Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup
You
just
messed up mine, but okay.
he had the triple crown. Yeah, Cooper Cup had the triple crown. I don't know how many times that's been done. I probably need to fact check that and see how many times that's been done in NFL history. But Cooper Cup, he was only a few yards shy of the receiving yards record behind Calvin Johnson, and he was Super Bowl MVP, carried his team to the Super Bowl, carried everybody's fantasy football teams. Cooper Cup was amazing, and that's why we both have him at two. Yes, we both have him
Yeah.
at two. Okay. Number one, I have Devontae, and you have Stephon Diggs.
Listen, only because I would change my list right now. I would take DK off of here, bump people down. I would switch around Stephon and Cooper right now, and I'd have Devontae at two probably.
That's not bad. Um, Devontae Adams, you just I don't know when he's ever gonna fall off because he's been consistently amazing for so many years, and he's getting up there in age. He's already 30, and this is kind of the point where wide receivers start to slowly regress. So I think
Man, I wish I could fix my list. Ugh.
I think Devonte Adams is going to start slowly declining in play this year. I think he's still going to be amazing this year, but I think we're gonna start seeing him get a little worse, because he's been around for a little bit. All right, so that's done with the wide receivers. Let's go on to tight ends now.
I'm interested in this one.
I have Darren Waller and you have George Kittle. Darren Waller kind of he was good this season. I think last season I would have had him at 3, so he kind of fell down, and then the number 3 spot had a really good season for me. Why do you have George Kittle at 4?
You can't hate George Kittle.
I'm just saying he's a little low.
Really? Top 4? I don't know. I still find it impressive. Go ahead. You're gonna be surprised on one of them, but to be only because he missed so many games this season. But when he did play, it was great to see him play.
I have Mark Andrews. You have Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews had he had a breakout season a few years ago, and then had an even bigger breakout season. Like he was really good, and now he's amazing. So Mark Andrews is really good.
I love the fit on the Ravens for him.
Yeah,
he goes well with Lamar,
yeah.
And I wish they still had Hollywood Brown, but we digress.
It's okay. The Ravens won that trade. If I'm any general manager, I'm not giving up a whole first for Hollywood Brown.
Yeah,
I do like Hollywood Brown, but he's not worth a first round pick. I mean, I'm trying to compare like other times that a first round pick. I mean, AJ Brown got traded for a first and a third, and Marquise Brown got traded for similar.
I don't understand those.
So you're saying Marquise Brown and AJ Brown are worth similar value? That's kind of what the Cardinals were thinking. So I think the Ravens fleeced the Cardinals, honestly.
Well, we're not the front office for either team, so it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, but I think Mark Andrews is a perfect playmaker with Lamar. I love Mark Andrews. He's really good. 2, I have George Kittle, and 2, you have Dawson Knox. Care to explain?
What do you mean it's Knox?
Dawson Knox?
Yes, it's Knox, man.
2,
I'm surprised on your list.
I like Dawson Knox, but he's not better than any of these 4 people.
To be honest, I do feel like he's top tier. I feel like he's really up there with the tight ends.
We'll see. I think he could prove his case this season. I think he could improve a lot this season. He's good. I don't think he's top 4 quite yet, but he's up there for sure.
I believe so. I believe on this heavy. I will not take this back.
Number 1, we both have Travis Kelce. It's kind of a given. It's been that for a few years, and it's not changing. So he is getting pretty old, though. He's getting up there in age.
Just believe it.
But he's not regressing quite yet, so it's bound to happen at some point. But it hasn't happened yet.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
Let's go into defense.
Pretty similar list. I'm surprised to see on this defensive side, though.
Let's go in defense. Let's start with corners. Number 4.
I will say my defense was pretty rushed.
I have J.C. Jackson. You have Stephon Gilmore. They were both on the same team last year, and now both on different teams this year. Stephon Gilmore's on the Colts now. J.C. Jackson's on the Chargers now, and then we're both on the Patriots last year. And Stephon Gilmore was also on the Panthers last year after getting traded.
Yep.
But
man, he's bouncing around.
I think J.C. Jackson has the most interceptions since 2019 throughout the entire league. He's the interception god. He just gets turnovers and doesn't give up yards. So I love J.C. Jackson. I think he's gonna get even better. And Stephon Gilmore, I still like him. I still think he's really good. He's kind of fallen off this last season. He didn't have an amazing season.
The age is catching up, that's for sure.
Yeah, the age is catching up. I'm excited to see how he's going to do in Indianapolis, though. So let's go to number 3. I have Tre'Davious White, and you have William Jackson. I want to hear your explanation before I say anything.
Well, I want to hear what you think about this one first, and then I'll give an explanation.
You want to hear my brutal opinion on this?
Yes, give me some. So far, I have had some pretty bold picks so far on our top 4s.
This is your most bold. In my opinion, William Jackson is not a top 25 corner, and William Jackson is not even the best corner on his team.
That's rough. That's rough.
And
That's
you have
gonna be
him
rough.
as the third best cornerback in the
I
entire
would
National
definitely bump
Football
him
League.
down. I would bump him down. I'd put J.C. Jackson over him and Gilmore. That's probably sure. Like I said, my defense was rushed, but I don't think William Jackson is that.
Maybe not. No, he's not top 20. He's not top 20. I don't know.
All right.
Top three
I
is
do have Trey White on my cornerbacks too,
you should.
so our list is not totally up.
Jair Alexander and Trey White. Yeah,
I completely forgot about Jair.
I
Oh my god.
Jair always flies under the radar though, so I don't even blame you for that. I always be forgetting about Jair. He's not really a flashy dude. He's just a lockdown. He does his business and goes. He's not really
He
like
just gets the job done,
yeah,
and I completely.
he does his stuff and then he's that's it. You know.
If I could switch this, I'd probably put Gilmore over William, and then bump everyone down once and put Jair up there.
Trey White, we both had him, around this area, 2 and 3. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all I gotta say. I don't have too much more to explain Tre'Davious White, but he's really good. And then we both have Jalen Ramsey. Kind of like Travis Kelce. It's been like that for a few years. Lockdown. He's just an amazing cornerback. And
For sure.
And he talks his talk, and he walks the walk. So, just what he
got
does.
a ring now too.
Safeties: Budda Baker and Micah Hyde. It was for number 4. It was between Budda Baker and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I ultimately decided on Budda Baker, because I don't like the Steelers. So that was kind of my reasoning on putting Budda over Minkah.
So this is a very biased answer.
Well, no, because it was very close between Budda and Minkah, so I just needed to find something to give one of the edge. And,
I have Minkah pretty high.
Yeah, so let me hear about Micah Hyde. You have a lot of Bills players on your list. You must really like the Bills.
No, I am far from a Bills fan. I'm telling you, I will never be a Bills. I'm a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was kind of confused. I was like, you switched
Because
sides.
I'll give my respect. I'll give my respect to these players. They deserve to be on these lists.
Yeah, I like Micah Hyde. I think he's borderline top 5 or top 4. So I think I could listen to anybody's case on why Minkah should be this high. So it's not a bad take. Justin Simmons, Budda Baker. We just talked about Budda Baker. He's really good. I think he's kind of infamous for getting chased down by DK, but other than that, he was, other than being slower than DK Metcalf, he's a really good safety. And then Justin Simmons he's really good. Did he ever get his extension, or is he still playing on a franchise tag?
I think he's still playing on a franchise tag.
So he might be a free agent after this year if that's the case. So that kind of sucks. Sucks for the Broncos because they don't have a whole lot of cash left after getting Russ.
God no.
Derwin James and Tyrann Mathieu. I didn't have Tyrann Mathieu. I just thought he kind of had a down season, and the safeties.
Still a great player.
Yeah, still a great player, but I think all the safeties in the league, like all the top safeties, are like close to each other. So if you try to take Tyrann Mathieu or Minkah Fitzpatrick, who weren't even in my top 4, and try to debate them as the best safety, I would listen. I think that's kind of how close this safety race is. And I think all the safeties are just really close to each other in skill. So, I think, the top 6 safeties could be, it could be irreversible on any of them. I think any of them could be in any of the top 6 spots in any order. That's how close I think this is. So Tyrann Mathieu, Derwin James, Derwin James I think he's gonna be considered the best safety in the league after this season. That's my take. he's been hurt a little bit. Played this season, and I think this next season he's gonna be. I don't want to say breakout because he's kind of already done that. He kind of already can establish himself as really good. But I think he's gonna break out again to be the best safety. I think he's just everybody's gonna be hip on Derwin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons. So we already talked about Justin Simmons. Jesse Bates, like I said, he's not even on your list, but I could consider Minka over Jesse and then have Jesse not on the list. I think this safety list is really close, and I think both these lists are valid. So the safety ones was really hard to rank.
Oh my God, yeah, this one had me stuck for a minute. I was like, but he did this and he did that. He had a good season. He did too.
Yep. All right, let's go on D-line. I had Chandler Jones and you had Von Miller. Chandler Jones had a really good season. He's getting old. I don't think he's going to be that great anymore, but this isn't a prediction for the future. This is right now, and right now Chandler Jones is still a top 4 D lineman in the league. You had Von Miller. You could honestly say the exact same thing about Chandler Jones that you did for Von Miller.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say about these guys right here?
No, they're both very comparable players. They play their game right. Von Miller's always been a beast. Just won a Super Bowl ring, and he played well that Super Bowl too against top talent, young stars. So if he's playing that well against younger players, I want to see what he does now with the Bills with an overly stacked team.
Yeah.
Like how he did with the Rams.
Other than that haircut during the Super Bowl, he's an amazing player.
We're not going to talk about it. We're going to move on to how he plays football.
Yep. Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack. Myles Garrett, I think, is going to be a strong case for Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Sure. I agree on this one.
If T.J. Watt didn't, almost break records, it would have been Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett. So there was T.J. Watt, who was above Myles Garrett, and then Myles Garrett, and then I don't even know who was under Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt were that far ahead of everybody else. I think that's just kind of, I'm surprised I don't. Three is kind of low for Myles Garrett, in my opinion. I did put him there, but I just think that's props to these top 2 guys. And then Khalil Mack. What do you got on Khalil Mack?
He's a beast. What else can I say about him? That guy's a freight train to the max.
Crazy thing, J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack are now going to the Chargers.
I know. I'm excited to see this. I want to see how it works.
I'm loving the Chargers, man.
They're making great moves. Necessary.
I wish the rumors that they were coming to St. Louis were true. I remember there were rumors a while ago when St. Louis was having all that I think they sued Kroenke of the Rams owner, and they got all the money, and they said they wanted an NFL team, and they almost got the Chargers, and I wish they did because all the Chargers are good. But Khalil Mack on the Chargers now. Let's see what he's got left in the tank. He's also aging a little bit, so you never know. Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's also aging a little bit. It's kind of a theme with these D linemen. So we need.
Still, that guy's strong as shit.
Oh yeah, he's so yoked. It's crazy.
So yoked.
Yeah. Aaron Donald is he was considered like the best player in the league. I think last year. I'm just gonna go to number 1 real quick, and then we'll talk about number 1 and Aaron Donald because I think we both have T.J. Watt. That's kind of obvious. So I think if I don't know, it's still close between Aaron Donald and T.J. Watt, in my opinion.
I want to go with T.J. Watt just because of the rewards.
Yeah, just because of the individual season he had. T.J. Watt, his season was amazing this year.
We could also go to Aaron Donald due to the Super Bowl with the ring and game-winning tackle.
He did. He was so clutch in that Super Bowl, and he deserves that ring almost. he might deserve it the most out of anybody on that Rams team. That's a lot of people on that Rams team deserved it, like Cooper,
Matthew
OBJ,
Stafford showed out, in my opinion.
Jalen,
No, I didn't
Matt
think that was going to
Stafford.
happen.
Yeah, I still think Matt Stafford's a little overrated, but you
For
just
sure. If you give him in a Hall of Fame talk,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no,
He's not a Hall
no.
of Famer. I mean, but I can't really say anything because he did just lead his team to the Super Bowl. So defense, obviously had a big play in that because you have the top four best defensive players in the league. So, and then you also had Von Miller last season. So, I don't know. It's kind of
I'm fine with this list.
let's go on linebackers. I have Demario Davis. You had Eric Kendricks. It was really close between Eric Kendricks and Demario Davis for me. They're both really close. So
Yeah,
if it was
I can understand either way.
if it was top five, I'd have Eric Kendricks there. Demario, I love the Saints defense. I think they have the best secondary in the NFL right now if they're signing Matthew. Yeah, I mean, Eric Kendricks is good. Both these linebackers are aging a lot, though.
I mean, yeah, that's just that's what happens in sports. We have great players who are just all old. Most of them are veterans. That's why I am glad though for my wide receiver. I did have Jamar because being so young and already being in the Super Bowl, is playing how well that he did. It's great to see young talent actually be higher up on these lists because most of the time you see all these players we have are all old. Like look at my D line, all old players,
Yeah.
age catching up to them, but still playing superstar level.
Miles Garrett's still young, but
I said mine specifically.
yeah, I know you did. T.J. Watt's T.J. Watt's not really that old. He's kind of middle aged
Yeah.
for a professional athlete. I think he's like 27 already. Yeah,
All right, let's jump into the next one.
let's go. Levante David. We both got Levante David. I think
Oh yeah,
he's the best pass coverage linebacker in the league. He
I'd probably bump up right now because I know I have Demario on mine. I know I do. Now
he
I'm debating if I put him a little too high. I might switch him with Levante.
who
Demario,
Demario's on your list.
I believe so.
All right. Yeah, Levante David helped the Bucks win the Super Bowl, and he's also really good. Uh, I think he's starting. I think we've seen his regression already. He's starting to regress a little bit, and I think he's gonna pass the torch down to Devin White here pretty soon.
Oh my gosh, Devin White's amazing.
Devin White's gonna be on this list in the next 2 years.
For sure. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. I was actually thinking about him for this list too. I was like, how crazy would
I
it
was
be?
going to, but I didn't. I think it was just not right.
I don't think he deserves it over Demario or Eric, but I would have been like, how crazy would it be to have two Buccaneers linebackers on this list? Fred Warner. I think the Fred Warner over Bobby Wagner talks are stupid.
Oh, I don't have Demario on here.
I think Demario was fifth for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was. That's why.
Yeah, I like Fred Warner. He's very. It's. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about Fred Warner other than that he's the second best linebacker. Honestly, compared to all the other positions, the linebacker spot's a little weaker. The middle linebacker
Just a
spot,
wee bit. Just a wee bit.
just a wee bit. Like, I think the gap between look at the corners. You have J.C. Jackson who gets all these interceptions. He's super good. You have Demario Davis. I just think J.C. Jackson's a lot better than Demario Davis, and they're at the same spot in their respective position rankings. So I think the linebacker is weaker. But let's not take that away from
No,
Demario
of course
and
not.
Eric.
We have a pretty similar list so far.
Yeah, we actually have. Besides William Jackson, that was whack.
All right. For you.
All right, the last number one linebacker, Bobby Wagner. We both have him.
Yep.
This is how it should be. This is how it's been ever since Luke Kuechly retired. Bobby Wagner's been the first, and nobody should even have debated that. He's been the best linebacker since Luke Kuechly retired, and that's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Better than Fred Warner, always has been. That's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. Yeah, it makes sense. Bobby Wagner's a straight dog on the field.
For sure.
It's hard to touch him, and if he gets you, man, you may have to watch out. It may break a bone or two.
If you're in Bobby Wagner's hands, you're not leaving. No, nobody's breaking that tackle if you're in Bobby Wagner's hands. He would have broke. He was on pace to break the. I'm pretty sure he was on pace to break the all-time leading tackles record in one season. If he didn't get hurt. He got hurt like the last 2 games, and he was on pace to beat it. Just sad. I hate when people are on pace to break a record, then they get hurt and they just can't do it anymore.
Right.
But he's all good to go for the Rams. Kind of sucks that he's in the same division as the Seahawks. But I get to watch them 2 times a year against the Seahawks. It'll be a little awkward. It's gonna be so weird to see Russ and see Bobby Wagner in different jerseys next year. It's gonna suck.
You got Drew Lock.
You know what? Here's my. I'm gonna make a brief. This isn't. I'm just gonna talk about Drew Lock for a quick sec.
Oh God.
The Seahawks have built a really good offense around Drew Lock. And Drew Lock was, the Seahawks really liked Drew Lock coming into his draft class. So I think if Drew Lock still has some potential left in the tank, this is his best chance. And he's never going to get a better chance than this year to show if he's actually good or not. Because Seahawks have DK Metcalf, Noah Fant, Tyler Lockett, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Walker, Chris Carson, all those guys. And then just drafted 2 really good pass protecting tackles on both sides of the line. I think if Drew Lock is any good at all, he's going to show it this year. And if he's not,
that's been a moment he's been waiting for.
If he's not, oh well, Seattle's just going to draft a quarterback with one of their 2 first-round picks. No big deal.
No big deal.
That's all I got to say about Drew Lock and the Seahawks. But yeah.
Well, other than that, the Seahawks situation, I think this was a pretty great episode. I feel like we had a pretty similar list. I also think this is all pretty accurate. Yeah. Some may disagree, especially with my cornerback.
I liked our list. Everything besides William Jackson was pretty solid. Yeah, that was just a horrible take. I'm sorry. That's horrible. William Jackson is not him.
He's not it. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up the episode for today. I enjoyed this.
Sure.